Hey everybody, it's Michelle from Forgotten Path here. I want to explain how to make biltong. But I'm going to give you a little advance warning. When you go to make this the first time, it will probably be salty as all heck. No one really ever tells you how much salt to use. It's kind of your own preference a little bit. The first probably 3 times I made this, it was really salty and I kept backing off the salt, and now I kind of found where I like it. First couple times I also was cutting my roast against the grain. It still works great, it's still good, it's just a lot chewier. I've discovered now if you cut along the grain, you wind up with a much more tender piece of biltong, and it's just wonderful. So here I have my roast. This is a venison roast, as I'm sure you'll notice in a lot of my cooking videos. It's always venison or some other wild game. But we're going to cut this along with the grain. Now you can cut these pieces actually fairly large, and it works fine because biltong is typically supposed to be sliced into bite-sized pieces. So even if it's almost an inch thick and 2 inches wide, that's actually a perfect piece, perfect size. Now when you do up your seasoning mix, traditional biltong is just salt, coriander, and a little bit of brown sugar all mixed together, and then you just put that on the meat and rub it in nicely and sprinkle it with apple cider vinegar. And don't get me wrong, that is gives a wonderful flavor. But you can change up your flavors. Like today's, I'm going to make a little bit of a Cajun one. I'll put some Cajun seasoning in there, so. So now I've got all these pieces cut. Just lay them out on your board. Flip another direction here so I'm not making a giant mess. And here I have my salt mixture, and all it is you can use sea salt or even the pink Himalayan salt, doesn't matter which one. And I have a little bit of brown sugar in here, and then just a pre-packaged Cajun seasoning mix. So we're just going to go through and give a generous amount on each piece. And just about however much salt that you kind of think you need. Get it rubbed in good. Flip them all over. Get the other side as well. Now, one thing to mention is the thicker the pieces you do, the longer, of course, it's going to take to dry. So you can do nice, really thin slices as well. I've done that. I've just found that I kind of prefer the thicker pieces that I can slice into nice, thin, bite-sized pieces. It makes it at least seem like it lasts a little longer. Probably doesn't, but this is 5,000 times better than jerky to me. Okay, once you have all your pieces covered in your mixture, go through. Now if you have a spray bottle that you can just put some apple cider vinegar in, or balsamic vinegar, as long as it's a dark vinegar, that works great. Or you can just use your fingers and just kind of sprinkle some on there. I know some people will probably say that's not the way to do it. I've been making this now for a couple months, and I've never had an issue doing it this way. There's some people that'll just pour the vinegar in with it anyhow, so. And then we'll just set this in a dish. Now you want to alternate the directions so it can let all that juice from the meat and the apple cider vinegar will all go down to the bottom. And then we'll just leave this sit in the fridge overnight minimum. You can let it sit up to 48 hours, but we have another one all ready to go, and we'll get that one hanging. Alright, so this is my biltong that I actually got ready yesterday. And these pieces I cut a little thinner, but as you can see they're all already very firm. And you can see how much liquid has come off of these just from sitting overnight, just 24 hours. Now what I'll do is I'll drain this off and we will go hang it. Alright, so now it's time to hang our biltong. Now all these are just regular old paper clips. And just gonna hook it through and just hang it. And you want to try and leave so they have some air gaps in between them. And then what I'll do is just leave these hang for a couple days. I'll put a fan on them typically, and then usually they are done and dry and ready to go in anywhere from probably 3 to 7 days, depending on the humidity inside your house or wherever you hang them. So there you go, there's biltong. Okay everybody, so our biltong is done. And it's nice and firm. It's got just a hint of red inside. And all I do is try and slice it as thin as I can. This is where it's really nice if you have a slicer. But it's just still kind of barely flexible. Tastes excellent. But we'll just cut these as thin as possible. You have little bite-sized pieces of biltong that is just excellent to eat. And knowing my husband, he'll probably have this devoured within a day or two. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.